most Uganda's political parties face internal conflicts. I am Dennis Ongora. Today on Lango News Channel, I am hosting the former Oyam South Member of Parliament, Isha Otoo Amiza, who has said he do not want to contest under any political party in Uganda. He highlighted a number of reasons why he decided to shun UPC party in 2026 general elections processes, but then refused to join any other political party either. Now we are going to look at the challenges in the top Uganda's political parties, which are also the reasons why Otoo decided to contest independently in 2026 general election. These include internal leadership conflicts in political parties. In Uganda, for example, in UPC, where 3 electoral commissioners are dismissed, a presidential candidate disqualified, Secretary General sacked, and court blocked the nomination of the serving party president. Other incident of internal conflict was observed in DP, where a section of members and leaders opposed appointment of the President General Norbert Mao by the President of Uganda, Museveni. The similar incident of internal conflict was also observed in National Unity Platform, where prominent leaders in the party such as Abed Bonika, Matthias Mpuga among others had been conflicting with National Unity Platform President Robert Shagulanyi Sentamu, aka Bobby Wine. In Forum for Democratic Change, the serving president Patrick Oboy Amuriat and his allies fell out with the founder Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye. Another challenge facing the political parties in Uganda is the splitting of political parties. Due to internal conflict, some political parties in Uganda split into 2 or more factions, and subsequently the formation of parallel new political parties. The examples are found in National Unity Platform, where Mpuga formed and registered a political party in the name of Democratic Front, DF. People's Front for Freedom, PFF, was also founded by the founder of FDC, Dr. Colonel retired Kizza Besigye, together with his allies after falling out with the leaders of FDC. Another one is sole candidacy. Most political parties gather around a single person, and the members, the leaders and supporters always don't give free political space to competitors in the level of chairmanship or president. The greatest example is in the NRM, where the idea of endorsing President Museveni as the sole candidate for president and party chairman starts several years before election time, hence either blocking or discouraging the potential competitors from coming up. In parties such as UPC, Jimmy Akena Borre has been the most popular and has got the majority support of the members. This makes it difficult for any other person to ascend to the presidential seat. This is also the same in NUP. Unclear manifesto and personal attack or hate speech. Some opposition political leaders like Robert Shagulanyi of National Unity Platform have been known for continuously attacking the President of Uganda, Museveni, in his speeches, of which some critics claim that he spends more time attacking Museveni and bringing out clearly what he has in his plan for the people of Uganda. Overstaying in power. I am now 33 years old, yet I found our President Museveni in power and still claiming that he is strong enough to continue leading the country for more years. I don't know how many years. This has set a precedent to the younger leaders such as UPC party president Jimmy Akena, whose term of office as the party president of UPC has expired, but still want to continue using the constitutional amendment in NRM regime and the long stay in power by President Museveni as the justification. However, for him, he said it is the party delegates to decide on that. We shall see. Now I have Honorable Isha Otoo Amiza. He will share with us his ideas. what he thinks about this political party and tell us the reason why he has decided not to contest under any political party in this country in the coming general election.
For the last 15 years, since 2011, when I lost election in Oyam County South. But since then, I have been doing civil political activism campaigns on issues and problems that affects the population of Lango and Uganda. I was a member of parliament in the 8th Parliament of Uganda, representing Oyam County South, where I came through a by-elections in 2007 to succeed the late Dr. Isha Otoo Amiza. May his soul rest in peace. My 3 years in parliament was sufficient and worth my time. I did whatever was expected of a member of parliament in legislation, that is making laws of Uganda, in representation, speaking strongly for the people of Oyam South, both in parliament, outside parliament, and also outside Uganda. And I did my aggressive oversight functions in making local government headed by the district leadership and central government headed by the president and his ministers to account to the people of Oyam South and the people of Uganda. I felt deeply convinced that I performed my duties as expected by the law and by my people. Therefore, since 2011 up to today, I have been out of parliament. I've been out of direct election office bearer. I have been outside direct control by a political party, to the extent that this period has helped me to serve my people diligently, more aggressively, and more seriously. I am always proud to say that there are 3 things which has happened in Lango region as a result of my stewardship leadership, as a result of my campaign which I championed, of course together with other people, but also as a result of my resilient commitment to work and fight for the common people, regardless of being in elective office. I can attest the result of Lira Kamdini Road, which is now completed, which attracted President Museveni and all the members of Parliament of Lango to visit our home in Alidi as a result of my protest, my campaign, which also ended up into my arrest and detention. But finally, the road is nearly done. 2, I made a lot of campaign on the issue of Akibwa, the construction of Akibwa to us AFCON, which had already been taken away to Oyama. As a result, I collected 1 million signatures from Lango and outside to push and demand CAF to ensure that if Akibwa is not enlisted or is not constructed to us AFCON, then AFCON should not be done in Uganda. The result of my petition has pushed government and pushed CAF to push government of Uganda to ensure that Akibwa is constructed. As I speak, I am proud. The construction of Akibwa is midway. It is going on. Lately, some time back in 2012, together with my colleagues, and I don't forget the late Moy Agnew, we mobilized, I led a demonstration in Lira streets against umeme, against inefficiency of electricity in the city or in the town, and I was arrested, I was beaten, I paid a heavy price. I was actually detained and imprisoned. I was remanded in Lira Central Prison. I paid a hefty bill as the cost of bail, over 20 million in cash, but I was released. But as a result, the efficiency of electricity in Lira City improved greatly in the entire Lango region. to the extent that it is only Lira city that attracts more factories and industries than any other urban towns apart from Kampala. And if you measure the rate of stability of power and electricity in Lira and in Lango, in the greater Lango, you would say we are on top. And the reason is because of my resilient campaign to ensure that efficiency of electricity is improved in this area. So I am proud of that. Something which I may also be proud of. You remember when Gulu University had refused through the council to give Lira University a fully fledged status amidst all the struggles by members of parliament and others. They had also installed a signpost here at Amucha indicating that that should be a constituent college in Lao called Gulu Constituent College in Lira. I mobilized people. I issued a statement to protest that we cannot have such a signpost in our land because we needed a fully fledged university. It was removed in 2 weeks and it was replaced by a signpost bearing the title of Lira University when Lira University was not there. But because of the pressure I mounted, the Council of Gulu, headed by Professor Pen Mogi, was very resistant, openly and pronounced themselves that now they need to make Lira get itself an independent university. And that is attributed to my struggle and campaign. Civic campaign is completely different from what other people do because it allows us, it brings in the public what the people want. And lastly, I have been campaigning in the recent times about the creation of Abaya district. For obvious reasons. Oyam is the biggest district in Uganda. Oyam has the highest population, almost second highest population in Uganda. Oyam is so wide geographically, and Oyam has a very good economic opportunities. So I've been campaigning to have Abaya district. As I speak, I'm raising signatures among the community to have Abaya district created as a new district, which would provide opportunity to access and services to the common people. And you also remember something which is very clear in Lango here. I am on the forefront of mobilizing all the veterans, the World War II veterans in Lango region, to bring them together, to claim for restitution and also claim for their compensation from the British government. And as I speak, I am happy. We have gathered all the information and we are moving forward very systematically. So all my struggles have been attributed to the people of Lango. It has not been attributed to me as a person. I have suffered a lot of persecution to that effect. I've been arrested over 9 times. I've also been in jail. I have been having a lot of pressure. Sometimes I run away from my home. I've got a lot of accusations here and there. You have been bribed. Because you are quiet. But because I have a lot of pressure from state and my opponents. But I have endured them resiliently. I have suffered, I have sacrificed, I have committed myself, but for the sake of the people. So now, therefore, I have decided as Isha Otoo to remain an independent people's activist who is preoccupied with a passion to fight for the cause of the common man, regardless of the association that one belongs to. Clearly, I have decided not in these forthcoming elections, I have decided not to pick any nomination from any political party. NRM is now concluding their primaries. UPC is concluding their nomination today as I speak. I have not surfaced there. Because what I stand for, what I fight for, is for the people, regardless of where they belong. It has not been backed by any party. It has not been the strength of any party that have been struggling to work for the people. But I see the result of my struggles as an independent-minded activist has yielded results to the people of Lango. 2, I have also deviated from the idea of associating myself heavily with any political party. Because if you read the existing political parties, they do not have clearly defined ideological direction. Neither do they have well laid down policies on how to transform our society. And I've seen many of them in terms of their programs or manifesto. You don't have a clear manifesto that can drive good governance to the people. The political parties in Uganda are fused on following individuals. UPC people follow Obote, who died a long time ago. And they follow the record of Obote, the record of UPC. Whether it's a good record or a bad record, that's what they sell. NRM, they follow Yoweri Museveni. You cannot see what is their clear, distinctive policy agenda on agriculture. What do they want to do on the livelihood of people, on infrastructure, on security and defense of the country? It is not clear. So to me, I find it totally unrealistic to say we are in this party, we are doing party politics, when there's no difference between this ideology and the other ideology. When the killer policy on how you are going to do ABC to transform people's life, to educate the people, to work on their health is not defined. The third reason is that the pseudo leaders of the so-called traditional political parties in Uganda, like UPC, like DP, and now FDC, because that's one of the parties which has come up immediately after NRM. They all operate clandestinely in partnership or in alliance with the ruling NRM of Yoweri Museveni. By directly implementing the NRM policy programs and making them redundant to steer the cause of the ordinary people. DP president is Norbert Mao, who is now the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. If you are talking of any law, you are talking of any justice in the country, anything to do with NRM government way or handling justice, it is Mao implemented. So what are the distinctive plan and ideas of Mao or of DP in the area of justice and constitutional affairs? Completely nothing, because they are implementing the NRM policy. UPC, you see the First Lady has served in 3 ministries. As I speak, is the Minister of Gender, Labor and Social Development, which is encompassing all the lives of the people, employment of the youth, street problem in terms of, all sectors of human life, livelihoods of the people, women empowerment, youth empowerment, elderly empowerment, is all being run by a UPC minister, who is also the First Lady of the acclaimed president. Now, what is the difference between UPC and NRM? What is the distinctive difference? If it is UPC minister, UPC member of parliament who is implementing NRM government policies, it means we cannot sell UPC policies. So it is same to a number of people in FDC. You saw the other woman who just moved, and she's now the minister of ICT or what. And you also see underground connivance. You follow in the last elections in the party, you find UPC leaders saying, you vote for Museveni, but vote for me to go to parliament, vote for me to go to LC5. Now, how do you tell me that you are a party and you have a focus and you have a plan, you want to transform the people's life? To me, I find that these people have fused themselves into one party, which is now party under Yoweri Museveni. And that's why they are not clear anywhere, because people don't understand what they communicate and what they do. The other issue which has made me to remain independent in mind is the escalating internal conflicts among these political parties, especially in the opposition. You know what happened in DP. The confusion in DP led to the rise of Chagulanyi of Unity Platform. That was purely a DP party. You have seen another breakaway from the same, which is now under Mpuga, something they are calling it a new party also, but purely a DP background, because these people are too greedy and selfish. People are fighting for what they get in terms of money, in terms of positions, and more so, by the way, from NRM government, from President Museveni. So you see the division, internal conflict, too heavy. We ran through internal conflict in UPC for disagreement on the following, the constitution and so on, for 15 years or more. Now, as I speak, just locally, nearly in Lango region, where UPC is found, in a Apache municipality, there's a heavy fight between the incumbent MP and the immediate member of parliament. They are both UPCs. In Oyam, you find the woman MP fighting with the former, or the current MP of Oyam South, who is now standing in leader. They are fighting like left and right. In Kole, the incumbent, one of the incumbent MP and the former MP, they are fighting like nothing. Just to build a structure of the party, they have failed to build structures in these 3 districts, formally, as required by law and the constitution. So this internal conflict is just too heavy that it cannot help a political party to generate and grow into a national party that can galvanize power. I am one person who is interested in state power to lead and to direct people and to show governance by implementing a policy or an idea which is practical or which can transform the lives of the people. So these political parties are fused into struggling around among themselves for positions and also for looking for money from the government. The other issue, which is very serious to me, you find that parties, this internal party, there are few individuals who claim to be leaders of DP, UPC, and FDC. And they now use these political parties as a surviving instrument on the whims of President Museveni and NRM government through direct receipt of financial gains, ministerial jobs, and state protection. This one is clear. As you can see, recently a HIPOD, Inter-Party Organization for Dialogue, chaired by the president himself, President Museveni, was distributing money to political parties, 7.5 billion to all these political parties. But they excluded NUP. The reason they excluded NUP is that because NUP is not cooperating with them. Because NUP is not working with them. So now, for them, these are the smaller parties, JEMA, UPC, DP, and what? They are getting this money and they are given by government, by NRM government, and stock party, so that they can work together at the expense of a true opposition party. That's why NUP stand alone as a true political party. They have even been put out that we cannot give you government money to fund your party. So you can imagine, if NUP was fighting, or if NUP is fighting for change in Uganda, they are now being directly suffocated, meaning that they don't have resources to fight for space in the public. They are also not protected, they are very weak, and the other parties have chosen to work together with the ruling party. The other issue, which I see as a reason why I've remained independent, you have followed how Parliament has been working, Parliament of Uganda. Clear fact indicates that individuals, not even with their parties, individuals like Semujunganda of Buganda, Jonathan Duro of Lango, of course even Anita Momo of Butesu. You can even talk of Dr. Chieng of Lango, Gilbert Olanya of Achole, have represented their people so effectively, independently in Parliament, without any influence of the party they belong to. Nothing. Whatever they do is directly attributed to them as individuals. You have seen in Lango here where Odur has been opposing all the things which UPC has been doing, including the time when people were being given money to buy MPs for the removal of age limit. He protested, refused the money. Recently, when the money was being given, well, UPC members all picked the money, 100 million given to members of parliament, just on a free, just a gift. He also refuses, he protested, meaning that he doesn't agree with the principles behind the way those people work. Say Mujunganda, you can't say somewhere is FDC. He's in parliament because of FDC. But he has been pursuing issues of Uganda, issues of Baganda, issues of his constituency as Semujunganda. So I have seen that in the current setup and structure of Uganda, Politics, leadership is more based on the individual strength, the capacity, the ability, and the will to serve the people, independently than as a member or as a group of a party. Have you ever seen for the last 15 years any clear motion which is pushed, forwarded, fought for in parliament by UPC, by DP? Never. But all the policies that come are NRM policies, and they go and discuss and agree at the caucus as NRM, and then the rest just follow. So that shows you that there is nothing big or serious about these parties in terms of transforming the lives of Uganda, in terms of bringing political change, in terms of democratic transition. There's nothing. Lastly, as you know, people are contesting in the coming elections. I want to publicly announce that I, Isha Otoo Amiza, my political struggles, my campaigns for Lango and for Uganda will continue with or without elections. Because I've been doing it for 15 years and I've been causing change in the people, with or without elections. Nonetheless, in these coming elections, I intend to go independent, because my contract is only between me, the independent Isha Otoo, and the voters, the ordinary people. Because I will be going to fight for services, road infrastructure in my area, in Lango region. I will be fighting for electricity supply in Lango region. I fought for water services, clean water, good water services in Lira here. I've been fighting with the water point which is being constructed in Nora, where they have just put the pipes up to Gulu, ignoring the entire Oyam. I'm still fighting for government, National Water and Sewerage Corporation, to distribute water, pipe water system in the entire Oyam South and part of Oyam North, along the highways up to above. I've been fighting on this. I've written petitions on water in Lira and what here. I actually called the entire executive of National Water here in Kampala to try to help the water problem which was in Lira City. Now it has improved. So those are things I fight for. So I will continue to fight for this as an independent political activist, not based on the party politics or party ideology, because I do not think there are clear ideology I can follow. And then lastly, my candidature in any elections is vested and shall be vested in the people. Let me be clear. In these coming elections, the moment I get nominated, which will be in September, not now, nomination is in September. The moment I'm nominated, first I will be nominated independently, but also secondly, I will vest all my focus on the people. I want to see how the people pay me back for the sacrifices, commitment I have shown and demonstrated to them. I am not going to buy anybody in elections. I am not going to push or force anybody to support my candidature. I will just lay down my plan. I will just tell them my records of what I have done, and then I will ask them whether they think what I do, what I have been doing is for their own good. So if they can pay back, it is them to pay back. I am not going to invest resources or money or what to buy votes, because what I have been doing, if I'm to ask for money, I don't know how many trillions I should be paid by the people for the sacrifices I made that has delivered things which has helped them. So that is very clear. So nobody should expect money, payment, or bribe from Isha Otoo over issue of elections. After all, our election has not delivered and it will never deliver. And I can be open and say we are going for a ritual, a traditional ritual. There is going to be nothing like any change of government as a result of election. Nothing. Like any change of policy as a result of government. Nothing. Like any change of political direction as a result of this coming election. Nothing. the status quo will be maintained. But what will be important is only the leaders or individuals who will come to continue to fight for the common good of the people. As I conclude, I invite and request anyone who treasures my soul sacrifice, who treasures my dedication and commitment, and the resilient fight I have made for Lango, I've made for Uganda, in any field, to come in and support me as an individual, independent person in pursuit for good governance, service delivery, and effective governance in Lango and in Uganda. And I say all this, that I will give people my phone number. They will call, they will express their support. I will also ask them to give any support they want to give if they value my struggle and commitment. But I am making it clear that my struggle and commitment cannot be defined or determined by elections for God and my country.
Okay.